One of the words that's really been emerging for me over the last few days is the word radical. And it's been interesting because I've been wanting to use this word more. But I've also noticed how it's bringing up stuff for me. I'm wondering, gosh, if I start talking about the word radical and using that word, what are people going to think? And at the same time, there's a part of me that's going, it's time we were radical. In the sense that we know what's at stake. We know the shifts that we need to make. We don't know exactly how to make them, but we know what we need to do. Recently, one of the reports on climate change came out, and it's telling us that we're not doing enough. And why the word radical? Because what that means is we're not being radical enough. We still think that we can, for the most part, maintain the status quo, maintain how we've always done things, with a bit of innovation and a few tweaks, and that's going to be enough. But the reality is we are in the midst of a system shift. We are called to upgrade the operating system on this planet. We have created something that is not sustainable, that is not regenerative, that does not enable us all to flourish, and definitely not us all to flourish together. There is work to do. There is a lot of work to do. And as long as we are in this mode of appeasing ourselves with ultimately a level of, dare I say, mediocrity, where we're not willing to go full out, where we're not willing to have the conversations about how things need to radically change, how we need to bring in fundamentally new ways. These are the new words that we need to start to be willing to use. I always remember I used to lead some programs for change agents inside large corporates. And it was like a kind of 10-day program, and we went really deep, and it was intense. And I used to play during the breaks the song of Tracy Chapman, which is all about revolution. And I'll always remember one of the senior leaders coming to me and saying, you know, Louise, it doesn't need to be a revolution. It can be an evolution. And I wanted to say that I completely agree with that. It's not about throwing everything away that came before as if it had no value. The way I function, it's not about shaming what has come before us, because actually it was the best that we knew how to do up until then. And yes, now we've noticed that it wasn't maybe the best thing, but it is about evolution. But it's about radical and fundamental evolution. So it's about from where we are starting to take leaps, not just like millimeter, just really slow, incremental change, just kind of constantly holding on to the parapet of everything that we know. So what I'm wondering is, what would you start to do differently if you embrace the words radical? If you embrace the words fundamental? What changes would you make? How would you start showing up differently? What new decisions would you take from that place? And also, what does that whole concept of radical and fundamental bring up for you? Because in my experiences, it brings up stuff, and it's okay for it to bring up stuff. But what we mustn't do is not use those words or not acknowledge that those words are necessary now because of our own discomfort. It's time that we rise, and that we rise beyond it. It's time that we really embrace that next level, and we are brave enough to create something fundamentally different and better on this planet that serves both people and planet and serves the whole. So I invite you to be more radical and more fundamental in the changes that you're bringing. in the changes that you're advocating, in the changes that you're daring to speak about.